thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Monica Denson, and I am the Chief Communications Officer at Lone Star Coffee Co. And today I'm going to give you a presentation on my portion of the group proposal for our business venture, specifically the market analysis demographics section. And today what I want to be discussing is how the demographic research shows that Fast Track's South Texas coffee program should be affordable, convenient, and designed for everyday customers. According to the National Coffee Association's 2023 U.S. Coffee Impact Report, U.S. consumers spend approximately $301 million on coffee and related goods, and $7.4 billion of that is specifically located at convenience stores. This data matters, of course, because Fast Track's the coffee is not an extra product in the store, but really we want to make it a daily routine purchase, which would encourage repeat customers. And I am qualified to speak on this, of course, because I thoroughly researched the demographic characteristics of the proposed South Texas markets that Fast Tracks is really trying to enter with this business venture. And I did my research based on population, age, gender, income, education, ethnicity, occupations, and economic stability of all of these target cities. And the demographic data shows that the program, should be affordable, convenient, accessible, and for everyday customers. So I will be supporting this argument, of course, with 3 main points. Fast Track's markets differ widely in size and community type, so we need to take that into consideration when designing the program. The target customer base is broad and not really fit for being narrowly targeted with a certain niche or too narrow of a strategy. And lastly, the program should be built for affordability, convenience, and daily routine to really fit those customer bases that we are trying to enter. And now that I have introduced why the demographic data matters, I will begin with my first main point about the difference in the markets. So the target markets differ widely in population size and community type. There is a mix of suburban, regional, industrial, and smaller town markets. And citydata.com from a 2026 info data research shows that Sugar Land is estimated at a population of 109,851, which is the largest target market of the group that we are targeting with these proposed cities. And from that same data, Victoria has a population of 66,020, Rosenberg has a population of 42,571, and Lake Jackson has a population of 28,158. And we also have smaller markets, of course, in this group of target markets. Lower population means really that I wouldn't recommend relying too heavily on like a high population suburban strategy. We need to take into consideration the population of all the cities when curating this program for all of them. So again, from City Data 2026, Wharton has a population of 8,755, Cuero has a population of 8,215, and Edna has an approximate population of 6,039. These population differences show that Fast Tracks needs a coffee program which would work in both larger communities and smaller community markets. And of course, we could divvy this up, like have a different strategy for each city, but this is just something to take into consideration. Additionally, the population data shows a flexible strategy across different locations would be extremely useful and highly advised. The larger market in Sugar Land, Richmond, Rosenberg is more likely to depend on speed, visibility, commuter convenience, and smaller markets would likely need more repeat customer incentives and local familiarity and value. And now that I explained market sizes differ, I will move on to my second point, the customer base treated as broad and mainstream. Customers represent a broad demographic audience rather than a narrow one. Age data appeals to working adults commuters, families, older customers. That is what the data is suggesting would be a wise focus for these demographics. City Data 2026 says that Sugar Land, Rosenberg, and Victoria lean very heavily towards working age and family populations. The National Coffee Association 2023 Spring Trends Report states that coffee remains popular with 47% 18 to 24, 66% 25 to 39, 67% 40 to 59, and 69% with a 60 and older demographic. These are all numbers for who drank coffee in the past day. And then the gender data does not suggest like a particularly gendered strategy would be wise because it's really fairly balanced according to City Data 2026. The data shows that Sugar Land has 51.4% female population, Rosenberg is at 52.3% female, Port Lavaca is at 49.7%. And the National Association of Convenience Stores 2018 report, says that gas consumers were almost also nearly balanced overall, with 49% male and 51% female. The ethnic and educational data also suggests that this program should be regionally grounded, simple, and accessible. City Data 2026 and U.S. Census Bureau, several markets have a very large Hispanic or Latino population, including Richmond, Rosenberg, and Yoakum. The educational differences suggest that Fast Tracks should really kind of hone in on quality in a clear and approachable way with communicating that, rather than relying on like flowery technical specialty coffee language. It doesn't seem that would go over well with these demographics. And now that I've explained why the program should appeal to a broad customer base, I will move on to my third point, affordability and convenience guided program. So this program really should be built around affordability, convenience, and daily routines. Income differences show that this program should focus on that affordability, but also not sacrificing quality. City Data 2026 says that Sugar Land's median house income was $136,217. Lake Jackson shows $90,938. Victoria shows $67,226 for that median house income. From that same data, moderate income markets are Wharton at $58,212, Cuero $56,480, and Bay City at $53,840. These income differences suggest that we should offer coffee which feels better than basic self-serve coffee, while still trying to keep that affordability aspect so we can encourage those everyday purchases to get that repeat customer base. From convenience store data, it really does show that price and loyalty programs influence repeat visits. The National Association of Convenience Stores, their 2018 report, states that 56% of shoppers have one preferred gas station or chain that they typically go to because they usually have those lower prices. And same data, 49% of frequent shoppers use and utilize a loyalty card or app. The data also suggests that Fast Tracks would really greatly benefit from discounts, loyalty programs, rewards, bundling promotions maybe, and that is how we can really encourage that repeat customer base and repeat purchases. Next, work patterns and community data show that morning convenience is really critical to the coffee program. This is because City Data 2026 states that Sugar Land averages travel work time at 28.9 minutes for the commuter market. And the National Association of Convenience Stores 2018 report states that 85% of frequent convenience store customers are more likely driving for work, school, requirement commitments when they make a stop at a convenience store to purchase something. The National Association of Convenience Stores, that same 2018 report, states that 27% of frequent shoppers made purchases between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m., which again fits into that morning commuter market in demographic. The data suggests that Fast Tracks should emphasize quick service, consistent quality, and dependable morning availability. Now that I've explained why population shows that broader customer demographic, income, and work routines support coffee strategy, I will conclude by reviewing my 3 main points. So let me review those 3 main points. Fast Track's South Texas markets vary widely in population size and community type. Fast Track's target customer base shows a broad audience rather than one narrow consumer group that should really be honed in on. And the Fast Tracks program should be built around affordability, convenience, and daily routines. These points support my thesis that demographic research shows Fast Track's South Texas program should be affordable, convenient, accessible, and designed for those everyday customers that we're really trying to get. In my introduction, I explained how U.S. consumers made up $301 million on coffee and related good purchases every day, with $7.4 billion of that being at convenience stores. These statistics matter because Fast Tracks has a great opportunity to make coffee part of its customers' daily habits rather than one-off occasional impulse purchases. Therefore, Fast Tracks should use demographic research to create a coffee program that is practical, affordable, regionally relevant, and easy for South Texas customers to make part of their everyday routines. And that is it. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope you found it useful.